In a shocking case coming from Mumbai in Maharashtra, there is an infant's body that was found in a washroom inside Terminal 2 of the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Airport. The infant was found abandoned in a bin by the cleaning staff inside a family washroom at around 9:40 p.m. on 25th of March. The sickening episode has caused widespread shock and outrage, with airport officials terming it the first incident of its kind in the country. Local police, who promptly reached the spot on being informed of the incident, took the body of the full-term male child to the hospital, where he was declared brought dead. The police have now registered an FIR against an unidentified person for the child's abandonment and death. Many questions have been raised regarding the case, such as how a person was able to dispose of the body and leave it undetected. As per airport officials, the pregnant women in their final term are not allowed to fly by any airline, pointing towards the possibility of the accused being a staff member. However, is the question of what could prompt a mother to abandon her child in such a manner is something that is unthinkable. According to sources, the incident took place at around 9:40 p.m. on 25th of March, when the body of the full-term male child was discovered by a cleaner by the name of Poonam Mala while she was cleaning the washroom that was located near the boarding gates 43 and 44 of Terminal 2 of the Mumbai Airport. Joining me on the telecast are my colleagues. I have with me Dhanraj Vanjari, who is the former ACP Mumbai Police. Before I go to Mr. Dhanraj Vanjari, I have with me my colleague Shahid Ansari on the telecast with me. Shahid, what more information can you provide to us? What has happened in the last few hours after this body was discovered by the Mumbai police?
जी देखिए, इसमें मुंबई पुलिस से जो बातचीत हुई है, उस बातचीत में जो बात सामने आई है कि सबसे पहले वारदात की बात करूं कि 25 मार्च को तकरीबन रात 9:40 पर पूनम मल्ला जो क्लीनर है, स्वीपर हैं, उन्होंने जो है जब टर्मिनल 2 के छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट के टर्मिनल 2 के टॉयलेट के पास मौजूद डस्टबिन में जो है उन्होंने साफ सफाई कर रही थी, तो उस दौरान उन्हें सैनिटरी पैड कुछ काफ़ी ज़्यादा मिले। जब वो साफ़ कर रही थी तब उन्हें जो है ये नवजात शिशु वहाँ मिला। इसके बाद उन्होंने वहाँ जो मौजूद CISF का कर्मचारी हैं उनको बताया, डॉक्टर को बुलाया गया। फटाफट जो है उसे अपने जो है कब्जे में लेकर जो है कोशिश ये की गई है कि डॉक्टर को बुलाया जाए, लेकिन जब डॉक्टर ने देखा तो पता चला कि जो नवजात शिशु है वो तो पहले से ही मौत के मुंह में जा चुका है। अब इस पूरे मामले को लेकर जो है तफ्तीश की जा रही है कि आखिर एयरपोर्ट पर यह वारदात हुई कैसे। मुंबई पुलिस ने इस मामले में जो है FIR दर्ज की है। मुंबई पुलिस ने दो BNS धाराओं के तहत FIR दर्ज की है, उसमें यह है कि किसी भी नवजात शिशु की मौत को या डिलीवरी को छुपाने और या तो उसे जो है खुद को बचाने, इस तरह की धाराओं के तहत जो है मामला दर्ज किया है। BNS की धारा 94 और 91 इन धाराओं के तहत मामला दर्ज किया गया है और इसमें जो है मैक्सिमम 10 साल की सजा भी है। हमारी जो मुंबई पुलिस से बातचीत हुई है, इस बातचीत में ये पता चला है कि मुंबई पुलिस ने बताया कि उन्होंने आसपास के कई CCTV कैमरे जो है फुटेज जो है रिकवर किए हैं। उसमें से एक CCTV फुटेज जो एयरपोर्ट के अंदर का उन्हें मिला है, उसमें एक महिला जो है जाती हुई दिखाई दे रही है, लेकिन अभी भी मुंबई पुलिस ये कह रही है कि हम जो है अभी भी कोई खातिर खां नतीजे पे नहीं पहुंचे हैं कि ये वही महिला है जिसका ये बच्चा हो सकता है। लेकिन ये बात जांच में जो है पता चली है कि महिला जो है 9 मंथ की पूरी जो है प्रेग्नेंट थी और उसके साथ साथ जो है जो महिला यहाँ पे आई थी उसके बाद इस यानी कि नवजात शिशु को यहाँ छोड़कर वो फौरन जो है कहीं और चली गई, यानी फ्लाइट के जरिए वो कहीं और चली गई है। अब सबसे जो CCTV में जो महिला दिखाई दे रही है, इसके साथ साथ जो है मुंबई पुलिस ने जो है पूरी लिस्ट निकाली है। उस लिस्ट में जो पैसेंजर हैं उन सब के पैसेंजर को कांटेक्ट करके पता लगाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। साथ में जो महिला CCTV में दिखाई दे रही है उसके रिश्तेदारों को जो है ढूंढा जा रहा है कि मुंबई में क्योंकि अब तक जो है मुंबई पुलिस को जो है उसका कोई मुंबई में जो है रिश्तेदार या कोई जानकार नहीं मिले जिनसे वो पूछताछ कर सके।
Okay, all right. Thank you for giving me all that information. This is deplorable, this is shocking, this is gut-wrenching. And how could a person leave their child, an infant, do not know how many days old this infant was, and not only that, the infant was dead. He was dumped inside a dustbin at the airport at Terminal 2 of the Chhatrapati Shivaji. Terminal 2 is where this incident has been reported. I'm going to quickly get in Dhanraj Vanjari. Mr. Dhanraj Vanjari, thank you for joining me on the telecast. First of all, how could a crime such as this could have been committed at a heavily surveilled location such as an international airport? And this is not an international airport in a tier 2 city, it's an international airport in Mumbai, the financial capital of the country.
I think this is first of its own kind. The crime has been reported in Mumbai, that too at international airport, and police have registered FIR. Now this is a very serious and equally strange investigation police need to do in this case. Number one, police will identify the accused woman, whosoever has done it, whether anybody assisted her, and what was the reason, what was the motive to keep the child like this abandoned to die in the dustbin. Now there are possibilities that it might be a passenger, number one. Number two, it might be a staff member. Or number three, any such person who could have access to such place where the scene of crime is located. Now, out of these three, if anything is possible to track and trace, everything is possible to track and trace, because there is CCTV, there is list of passengers. International airport is such a place, nobody remains unidentified. So there is a possibility very soon the accused will be arrested. Now, second important issue will be what was the motive behind leaving the child like this, newborn one, to die in such circumstances. Whether it was pre-planned, whether it was decided, the doctor has already proclaimed the date and time of delivery, whether at such time it was done purposely or it was there some other reasons why the accused lady had to leave the child like this and run away.
No, but are we at this point of time supposing that this woman who has been captured on the CCTV camera, the police have been zeroing on this woman who was carrying the infant, who has taken the flight and boarded out of the Mumbai airport, is what we are getting to know, what my reporter is telling me as per the latest information. So, Dhanraj Vanjari, is it so that the woman was actually carrying a dead child with her when she entered inside the premises?
That possibility cannot be denied, madam. There is a possibility that the dead child already was in possession of the accused lady, and she just chose that particular place to dump the dead body. Then it is another serious angle to the investigation, that how dimensionally police will track and find out that who is the lady, number one, and then why this has happened, what was the motive, where the actual crime has done, and whosoever responsible to assist the accused. That also would be important to find out, maybe a case of criminal conspiracy that way. But this is a very strange phenomena happened. I think apart from technological and digital evidence of CCTV and all this, I think the forensic science will come to great help to police investigation, when forensically the DNA and everything will be matching to a person whose child it is. Okay. And it is possible. Let's keep faith in police investigation and give them enough time. I think they will come out with a very, very positive result.
Dr. Naresh Chawla also on the telecast with me. Dr. Chawla, here the situation so strange, so weird, never heard of such a thing have actually appeared, sends shockwaves, hair-raising experience. If you hear about it, I can just imagine the person who had actually been able to identify this body that was kept in a woman's washroom in Terminal 2, what must that person be going through when they actually discovered the body and then found out that the child was dead and had been left abandoned over there by whosoever who did this crime, who committed this crime. But Dr. Chawla, how, obviously now we'll have to also find out How many days old was this child would also be something that the police would be investigating, trying to find out as well.
Look, let me tell you one thing. First thing, the lady will be identified because it is an international airport, so it is per se clear all the women of that kind of age, the woman childbearing age, can be easily be identified, and anyone who has given a birth recently can easily be found out. In my opinion, the forensic experts will be able to give you the biopsy, the post-mortem, the child must be done, and the by the cytological matching, the crime will definitely be covered. It may sound strange why it has happened, why, what was the need of dumping the dead body, or the child died there and then the body was dumped. This will be come to know from the post-mortem report, and I think all people who were there at one time, all entry in all international airports is recorded, so nobody can escape easily. Although it may have brought bad name to the international airport also and the Mumbai also, but this is a pure law and order problem. It is a crime committed and it must be unearthed earlier the better. But per se sure, I don't know whether the postmortem of the child is being done or not. It is an absolute must that we hold the key that was the child, how many hours before the child was dead, was it few hours or more than few hours, or was it chances of a staff involved are extremely high. So I think all these things makes it a huge crime story, and everything needs to be investigated very thoroughly.
I have with me Naveen Chomal as well. Naveen Chomal, now there may be a number of possibilities that may be emerging out of this crime that has been committed. Was the child dead when the woman actually walked into the airport with the body? Did the child die while she was at the airport and then she decided to dump it in the washroom at Terminal 2? What was the motive behind the woman leaving the dead body in the washroom? How is the legal system going to deal with this particular phenomenon that has taken place?
See, how the legal system will deal with this particular offender will be the second question. First is the detection of that particular person. So as the things go, and as very rightly pointed by Vanjari sir also, that the Mumbai International Airport is a busy place. So it is very, very, very difficult for a lady to conceive a baby over there and then dump the child and go away, because that will be too much messy, and the pain and the cries, labor pain and the cries. So there is a possibility, as you rightly were pointing out, that there is a chance that a lady had brought the child inside the airport, and it doesn't look that afterwards the baby must have died. As the baby would have died, then the mother would have definitely cried and tried to save the baby. But this looks like a case of crime where the baby was dead already before. Maybe the baby was not belonging to that woman. The woman was carrying only the dead body. She entered the airport, dumped it after the security check. Because see, once she is reached near the gate 43-44, that means she has crossed the security check also, carrying the baby in the hand. Of course, the CSF people must not have checked whether the baby is alive or not, but it must be in her hand, the newborn baby, and she must have very easily passed off and ultimately dumped the child and then took up the flight. That looks like a possible case. Otherwise, a lady delivering in the airport premises is very, very difficult, and nobody comes to know about it. So this is the case. And then, as very rightly said by you only, that police have already declared that they are applying section 91 and 94 of the BNS Act. So this particularly the CCTV footages, if they scrutinize properly, they will definitely be able to judge who the particular person was. Because I know the police people, they have been very, very proficient in this particular field. And from the CCTV, they can, identify the culprits very easily. They can track down also. So it's just a matter of time. So let us await what the police disclose about the post-mortem report. In all probability, it must be the case where the body was brought dead to the hospital, and then they will find the time of death before the it was sent for the post-mortem. So we can understand when the child must have died and under what circumstances it was brought to the hospital. Please.
This is very mysterious. This is very murky. The fact that a woman decides, and we are assuming it's a woman because the latest update that we are getting right now, as per the police reports, as per the conversations that my colleague has had with the police authorities in Mumbai, they are telling us that they have been able to zero down on this one woman, a suspect who is likely to have left the dead body in the washroom of Terminal 2 before she boarded the flight and flew away. We'll also have to find out details of which is this flight that she boarded, where was she headed to. So all this, her name, her identity, it will all have to be found out, identified, investigated into and probed into by the Mumbai police, and the information will start trickling in as more gains are made by the police in being able to reveal what actually really transpired in those hours when this incident took place, and what was going on in the mind of this individual, this woman who is a suspect at this point of time, has still not been nabbed by the police at this point of time. And remember, it has been now the incident has taken place on 25th, so it is 27th, so it's been 2 days now, 48 hours that have elapsed. So results will are bound to come now as the hours pass by. I have with me Sanjay Pandey, former DGP in Maharashtra, ex-Mumbai Police Commissioner as well. Mr. Pandey, situations such as this, have you ever in your police career seen a crime such as this, witnessed a crime such as this?
Seeing a child being left in the airport is probably a new thing, but newborn childs being left into dustbins and otherwise is not a new phenomenon. I mean, this happens. I think in my career I must have noticed quite a few times that these things have happened. Now I've been listening to all the people who are saying. The one thing which is very clear is that for police to solve this crime, this is a very simple crime. They have the CCTV footages. They will know who came and who did not come. I think this will be solved, and the time of death of the child can also be established by forensic analysis. The point which I want to make is a different thing. This is a social issue, which I think there was an entire nation, that is America, fought their elections on the right to livelihood, and not the right to livelihood, the right to live. The right of the ladies to abort the fetus. Now, India, you can abort it by 24 weeks, and it's so easy. But after that, it is not possible. I'm telling you, there also the jury is divided. It was divided that whether the women will have the right to abort. The social issue here is that there is a stigma attached. Suppose I'm imagining that it is not somebody else who brought the child. A newborn child cannot be just handled by somebody else. So I am saying very little possibility the newborn child could have been handled by somebody else. But the fact that the mother could have to leave a child like this, this raises a very major social issue, which our country also has to debate. While other countries are debating this issue, whether the ladies have the right to abort beyond a particular stage, India allows 24 weeks. So that's another issue which comes to light. In case it was the mother who left, and it was also because of some social stigma. That's the issue I think we need to debate. Whereas the crime, as far as concerned, for Bombay police or any police for that matter, with the current technology, with the current CCTVs, it's a no-brainer. The forensic science will reach
Okay.
to it, it will be established. Yeah.
Then Raj Vanjari, again, an important aspect that has been raised by Mr. Sanjay Pandey. He says that there is these taboos, these stigmas that we are trying to keep ourselves at bay of. Especially, it could be, there could be a number of possibilities. It could be an unmarried woman who has born a child. I don't know, it could be an illicit relationship out of which this child was born, and I don't know in what circumstances was this woman pressurized enough, stressed enough that she was forced to kill the child. I don't know if that's the case, if that's what has happened. So again, a lot of permutations and combinations, but Dhanraj Vanjari, can we just give a clean chit to a woman, or at least give her a sympathy card, simply because we are talking about how her circumstances may have been that may have forced her to take an action as extreme as this?
Yes, I do totally agree with Mr. Sanjay Pandey. He has pinpointed a very important issue, that it's a social legal aspect of the case can be examined, or after the case being solved fully, it will throw some light on the social legal issue or social legal angle. What kind of different countries have the laws, what kind of laws India has, and whether there is a possibility that there might be some foreigner, non-resident of Indian, are doing it, or it is Indian doing it without entering the premises. They found it's a safe method. Somebody was hired to dump the child like this and given a ticket that you flew out of India, so there won't be any criminal left in India. So there are n number of dimensional possibilities we can discuss and decide. So far, our honorable panelists, whatever has views been shared, I think it is enough. Forensic science, the CCTV, technological digital cameras and their evidence. We have to understand this case thoroughly through not only the police detection angle, not only the application of law, not only the punishment under the law being given to the accused in court of law tomorrow, but it throws a very important light on our social legal issues. We might have to change the laws, we might have to consider the phenomena in different perspective totally. And I'm happy that Mr. Pandey has pinpointed the thing and told very correctly. After the investigation being carried out, this case would be remembered through the ages, that this case might throw light on the legal system, on the social legal pattern of the observance, and entire social angle is very important in this case.
Right. Okay. I'm going to bring in Dr. Chawla again into the conversation. Dr. Chawla, how do we move forward from here on? And as Sanjay Pandey said, that there's no dearth of incidents such as this, that unmarried women who have born children, unmarried women, unmarried mothers have dumped their children in dustbins and in railway stations and on the footpaths and so on and so forth. There are the plethora of such incidents that have taken place in our country all across. How can we tackle this situation in creating more awareness and also providing for the proper resources that are required for women to protect women and families such as these, so that they are not forced to commit such heinous crimes?
Listen, in my opinion, two things will solve the problem. It is a very challenging forensic case. The post-mortem of the child, which will tell how many hours before the child has actually died. One. And number two, the DNA matching. So, for example, 3 to 4 women of that type existed in that time at that airport that time. So DNA matching will clinch the whole crime, and obviously since it is inhumane, it is no doubt a socio-legal problem. They are all secondary problems. First problem is a crime which has to be investigated, unearthed, and as fast as can be done, because it will act as a deterrent. What happens in this case is, because after the sensational news, nobody carries on or follows up nicely at all levels, and the story is dumped. So in my opinion, it should be quickly investigated and within couple of days only, because the person, for example, has flown or refuses for any DNA matching, etc., then also the stories cannot be solved. So it should be done as promptly, so that the problem is unearthed also and it works as a deterrent. Such a thing does not happen again.
Okay, all right. Whether there can be an example set in this incident such that it becomes a deterrent for other individuals to think 100 times before committing a similar crime, remains to be seen how the proceedings are going to be carried forward here. But Naveen Chomil, how does the law look at crimes such as these? This is not a one-off incident, but crimes such as these have been committed in the past as well. How does the law deal with it?
If it is a crime, then law can deal with it. But then the query raised by you earlier to Vanjari sir, let me try to throw some light on that issue and put my view that the woman who must have done it, maybe she also deserves some sympathy if she has not done any crime. Because these issues, as Sanjay Pandey sir also very rightly pointed out, that they are not so uncommon. There are such instances where we find the newborn babies abandoned by the mothers out of some compulsions. In 1970s early, Mahmood, a great actor and a film producer, comedian, he had produced a very beautiful and very touching film, Kuwara Baap.
Yes,
That
yes.
covered this particular issue. So if we go by that particular angle, then the mother cannot be blamed. Because there are some certain circumstances which our society is not fair to the woman. Sometimes men escape by making a woman pregnant, but ultimately the woman has to deliver the child. So what must be the compulsion of that particular lady, and perhaps she must have ultimately found the child to be stillborn, so she had no option but to dump it. So there may be many angles and many options.
So like I said, I mean, can our social institutions come together to help such women in distress, such mothers in distress, so they do not have to take an extreme step, is something that our society at large needs to come together and work with. And also the kind of society that we live in, the structure that we have created for ourselves, that we look down upon individuals simply, and not just individuals, I'm talking about women particularly. And as all of you did mention that, you know, why are women seen with a different prism and are judged and are denigrated for actions that they have committed and turned them into crimes when they actually aren't. I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast.